Gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the Star Ladder I-League Invitational Season 3. We're going to be taking a look at our third best of 3 of the day as we switch on over from the CIS region back over to South America, the lovely land of wonderful Dota 2. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by Ryu Dota. My man, how you doing?
I'm good, man. One quick thing. Is it team or party again? It's been a while since I casted.
Let me double check because I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's team, if I remember correctly.
I think it was team.
Yeah, it's team.
All right, good. All right, let's go.
No. Uh-oh. I just logged out of that. Now all my things are messed up. I'm going to have to probably reconnect. No, we're good. It's back.
Correct.
Wonderful. But yeah, it's been a little while. You know, we got to cast a little bit of CIS this morning, but this is your first time again back after the break after TI, and there's a ton of Dota to cast.
Dire team pick.
Yep, this is where the grind starts for everyone.
Yeah. And where better than in South America, or where else better than in South America? Midas Club Elite versus Luccini Gaming. It's Brazil versus Peru in this one. Have you had too much experience playing with many of these people? The only ones that I really recognize are Arms from Midas Club Elite and from Luccini Jericho, probably. I don't know if I really recognize anybody else.
This JEI Mary guy, I played a lot against him in the pubs recently for like the last, I don't know, 3 weeks.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. And then the Jericho guy, I played against him. Everyone else like is just kind of weird to me. I haven't seen their names too much, or I just don't recognize their aliases if I do play against them. So
yeah, I'm with you. It's yeah, sometimes they end up tagged up as something different, and
yep,
maybe
10
they're
seconds remaining.
a different
they're
player.
hiding.
Exactly. That's what it is. But as far as sort of the way that South America is progressing, it's kind of interesting because we have like FPL that started back up again, and it feels like it's been a more, I guess, rigorous training of an off season because that's come back a little bit.
Yeah, it helps grow fundamental teamwork early on in the season, whether you get picked up or not, and then it lets you know, hey, do I kind of maybe want to partner up with this person? What do I want to do? Pub scene is just, you know, you can counter pick pretty easily with the all pick system. In captain's mode, you know, you're gonna have your off lane pick, your support pick, or some pick maybe early, and then you just have to perform. Whereas, you know, in pubs you can just easily last pick sometimes and get the edge. So it's like it's a good system to where you don't always have the edge in the picks, and then you have to perform all the time. Right.
I like that. I mean, there are still outdrafts that we see from time to time, but at the very least, it's not just like one side is inherently better than the other. And I feel like Radiant and Dire is fairly well balanced right now. Would you kind of agree?
Dire team back.
I think I like Radiant side more at times, but I think they're still a bit balanced. I do like the Radiant jungle a lot more. I like protecting on the Radiant side more for all the other areas.
Right.
But they both sides have their merits. Okay. So I like playing off lane. I like playing off lane more on Dire, but just because I feel like it's easier over there on that side. But then Radiant, it feels like the whole gameplay. I think it's a little bit easier in Radiant.
Okay, across the rest of the positions. So.
Right.
All right, I like it. Well, so far at least, Midas Club, they have been taking the Night Stalker and the Rubik in their first phase, and Luccini, a classic combo, Clockwork and Ancient Apparition. Just run on in there and catch somebody and Ice Blast them. Whoever it is most likely going to die.
All right. AA's always seen a lot of love. Night Stalker's always seen a lot of love. And I wonder who's going to get hit the hardest in the upcoming nerfs. Probably people are tired of seeing like Necro and Night Stalker all the time. A kind of rose to fame just because of all the healing, you know, strategies that have been coming out. So, and they have global pressure now too. AA Clockwork, you can Ice Blast rocket from very far away. And so they can always couple that up with something, if they like a Spectre or something old school, but maybe not in this game. And then the Rubik pick is nice for Clockwork. You can just cogs or just lift them up, and you can't really get cogs off, or you can just lift out of cogs. So it's a good counter there.
Yeah, one of the better ones in the game, and it kind of begs the question of what position is this Clockwork going to be played in? Before TI, there was a lot of Clockworks that were being played in the 4 position. That I felt like fell off a little bit, and people weren't doing it as often at TI. It was Earthshaker that was kind of fulfilling that role. I guess it's sort of still something that's slightly open, or do you think that with an Ancient Apparition it's too hard to run a Clockwork in a support role?
I like having him in the support role most of the time. Although Night Stalker with his... You normally don't want to pick Clockwork against Night Stalker just because once it's nighttime, you can just fly over the cogs, and then your easy kill is gone. So he doesn't have much kill potential on both of these heroes, but you'd rather have that on a support hero than the offlane hero who's going to have more of an impact during the whole game. So you're kind of stuck in this position where he's going to have to play from that, and then here you go, the classic nowadays, AA plus CK. You can just pull people in as they're cold feeding, and then they're almost guaranteed to get stunned early on. It's a pretty disgusting combo.
Yeah, you almost have to like run away after the reality rift the opposite direction to even hope to get out of it. Even then, it's unlikely that it's going to end up working. But Midas Club, not dissuaded. They're going to be taking the mag now. So this is kind of, I guess, an answer for CK Illusion's later game, but... I don't know. Yeah, Magnus always feels like he's tough to lane.
Yeah, he's gonna have a hard time laning, but they should be able to catch up. It depends on what the hero they pick next for Luccini. But Magnus is always great against the CK. Sometimes you don't want to pick a Medusa because it's really slow in the game, or you kind of want to just pick another melee hero that's good, like say Troll, just because you can take down buildings, you can get Roche faster, and now that they have a Magnus, it gives more incentive to pick the Troll hero in this situation, just because you have that AoE for the illusions. And so you always need to think about a hero that has BKB and then AoE. And then, or you can just play the other style. The other style of Dota is pretty much killed off, though. It's like Alk and Naga. That's one way to easily deal with CK. If you just split up the map, CK has a really hard time just catching any of the heroes.
Right.
10 seconds
well, and
remaining.
I guess also it's kind of a semi-ish counter for the Chaos Knight in the early game that you were talking about. Like, if they do end up trying to go for a Reality Rift Cold Feet, you can go for a Skewer away, and then it might not be able to catch you. But we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, man. Sven against CK plus Empower. 30. And Batrider is not even that great of a hero here, just because they have Lift and Night Stalker, nighttime, better vision.
5 seconds remaining.
Luccini, I think they're getting outpicked here just because they have to they have to show both of their heroes here. So their last hero has to kind of counter Sven and Magnus and everything they want to do. Actually, Luccini could go for a Medusa themselves or something. And it'd be really nice to have a hero that can build the Lincoln's good hero against Sven. You're gonna need some kind of frontline hero, I feel, to counter Sven. There's always TA too. It's not necessarily the best, but he definitely, because when TA gets the Desolator, and then you have the Warcry on, you're not gonna be doing that much damage with TA, even though you have the Meld plus Desa, but it's still some answer to all that heavy armor that Sven is going to have.
Hey, maybe eventually you can get to that level 25 meld armor bonus or whatever it is.
Diffusal too is always nice when you deal with Sven. So there's lots of different routes they can go.
We'll have to wait and see. I guess as far as like getting off the ground, CK is... I always feel weird saying it, but I feel like he does need 1 or 2 items, and then he's like really strong, and then he kind of falls off for a little bit, and then he just becomes untouchable and like really hard to deal with in the super late game. Yeah, also kind of signaling that this is most likely going to be that Clockwork out of the position 4 role. Pugnaban, and they are going to take the TA away, so they do not have to deal with that like you were mentioning. Is there anybody else that fits the bill?
It was only... For me, it was only TA and Dusa. Might have to go Dusa, but Dusa's not too bad against Puck. I'm trying to think of what other heroes. They can go Tinker, but problem is with Tinker, have Night Stalker on an enemy team, could be a problem. Yeah. But it's some hero that can split up the map and help out. The best way to deal with Sven is trying to split up the map. And it's kind of like Sven and CK. They kind of feel the same rules in a sense where you're just like this big, heavy right clicker, and you just go in, and then both of them heavily rely on their ultis to do a lot of the damage.
Right.
So the ways to play around that is just to split the map up.
Maybe like an Ember or something. I don't know. I guess the other question that I always have with these matchups is what's the ping situation going to be like? Because I don't know which server they're playing on, but based upon a puck pick, I'm imagining that this one is being played out of Brazil. I could be wrong, though.
Not sure. Yeah. Time to ask the admins.
There we go. Invoker. Interesting. All right. Well, you jump in, you lasso, you get a Sunstrike to follow. Why not?
That hero is super slow.
Yeah.
In this meta, not many people have won with this hero in a lot of the pub games and a lot of the professional matches, and there's a reason for it because this is Night Stalker. All he has to really do is just camp this Invoker nonstop for the whole game, and then Puck already does really well against Invoker. So as long as they can find ways to shut down his early farm, then they should be fine. But Invoker is the solution to the Sven that we were talking about, where you're able to eventually kite him. If you once his BKB is down, or if he doesn't have a BKB, you always have the Tornado EMP for the mana drain. You also have the Deafening Blast, so he can't attack. So there's a lot of good merits to Invoker this game. It's just, can you survive the early game?
Right. Yeah, and I guess that with a AA Clockwork, that's like the idea eventually is just to try and get him off the ground with a bunch of Sunstrike kills, either through the Bat Rider or the Clockwork initiation once they get those levels up. But I always feel like Night Stalker just gets so much done early. It could be quite scary. As we get ready to go into this game number 1, Midas Club Elite versus Luccini. A lot on the line for these teams, you know, with the announcement of all the majors and minors, being able to make it to one of those this early on could give them a head start on their way to going to trying to make towards a TI run or something like that. I mean, obviously it's a long ways off, but each and every little one of these matters. And if it's a particular player on this team that like has a standout ability, maybe later on in the season he ends up getting picked up by somebody. It's a possibility.
Yeah, how do the minors work for invites? Do you know? Does everybody have to play in, or how they work?
Well, I think that it's sort of not everything has been released yet as far as the information goes. Yeah, but as far as I understand it, you get a certain amount of points for. Yeah,
that's for the major though.
No, it's for the minor as well.
Oh, it's for the minor too.
You just get a higher proportion of points for a major than a minor. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's how it works.
I wonder how do they decide who's to be invited to the minors though, still, because you have so many teams, right? And then you have so many people that maybe want to play, maybe not want to play. I guess maybe what they'll do is they'll go down the list of, like you said, who's at the highest, and then they'll go down and ask them. And if they have scheduling problems or whatever, then they don't go, and then it just trickles down.
Well, all of the minors have to have qualifiers for all 6 regions, so at the very least there's going to be 6 people in each minor, 1 from each region. So we'll have to wait and see what the specifics are on all of it, but for this one at least I know that there's 1 qualified team from each region, and then you also have 2 direct invites, and we'll have to see who those are as Tala gonna run into Jericho right at the start of this. We're gonna have to see what ends up happening. Lots of damage. He ends up getting the orb started and already brought down to super low HP, 80. And he does not have a salve, although he's having one brought out right now. So good thing he had that happen.
And Invoker got a huge block there. All right, that is just weird. All right, so what normally happens in that situation is Puck, he'll always orb first.
Right.
So he can get back in time to block, but he didn't orb. And if he had orbed sooner, he could have maybe seen them, and he could have definitely dodged them over them. But so mid lane, a little bit harder now, just because it's on the Invoker's heal. But meanwhile, top lane though.
Ooh, actually nice. Bottom lane as well. It's going to be a bit of a battle going, and Bat Rider just got lifted and killed.
First blood, first.
He skewered Clock back to the tower, but he only took half damage.
Man. Well, not what you want to have as a start for your Bat Rider here, and
he's gonna go down again.
yeah, this is a pretty easy kill, I feel like, as they have another stun to follow it up and a void available. I mean, you have to leave to the jungle now if you're Bat Rider, right?
The thing is, what he should have done, because the lane was pushing, he could have just stayed back, and he didn't. He still doesn't have vision of where the supports are. Now they're able to pull. Denied him a creep wave. One good thing is it's not stacked, and normally Sven, he pushes waves because he has cleave. Meanwhile, mid lane,
oh no! Oh god, no! Is this over? Is that a real good game well played?
Remember that one
No.
from some time long past.
What's happening? What is happening? Ryu.
Don't worry. This is NA Dota.
Dyer's
This is
middle
SA Dota,
Baby
man.
League. Yeah, no, Baby League. This
Okay.
is the minors, you know.
I feel like this game is already spiraling pretty far outside of control. But you do have level 2
Are we
on
talking
Bat
from
Rider.
a mental standpoint or a physical? I don't even know what you call it in game. Is it physical? I don't even know.
It's something.
Dead. Another dead bat. Another.
Oh
Nothing
man,
to see here.
this is quite bad. This is really, really bad.
It's okay. They only have 1k gold lead. It's not too bad.
All right.
Yeah, you're looking. The CS is still fine for Invoker. He's not doing terrible for himself.
Now Puck is getting a little bit feisty right here. Needs to be careful he doesn't get sunstruck or something like that. In the meantime, Magnus is getting a hell of a lot for himself. Currently level 3.
Yeah, this is a problem because Clockwork had to rotate, and because of the skewer counter to the AA, as you mentioned during the draft, it's just easier for the Magnus to get levels here.
And they've switched it up completely, so it's Jericho that's...
They did go on him though. He's gonna skewer him to the tower though.
And they can't actually do anything. Like, they need to probably stun and then Reality Rift, right?
They just have to be close. They got the stun off, but he needed another good second before it would have stopped him. And now he uses Mango. He's got his skewer back up. He's gonna feel fine. They just have to kind of get him low. They have to poke and prod him. Make sure he gets out of position or something. Meanwhile, mid lane.
That's going to be a regen picked up by the Rubik, and he's just going to walk away for the moment. Still getting chased down by that Clockwork, but with the Night Stalker here, they might be able to turn this around and keep alive their Rubik. It's a lot of damage coming in. They will be able to find that kill. Now an Invis rune. It's picked up by that Clockwork as well. He is going to have Cogs back up in a second, but with level 2 right now, I don't think that they can... Well, actually, maybe they can kill off Night Stalker. He has a stick charges as well, trying to run away, making that movement in towards the river, but now the lift back, Rubik pulls him back in, and they get the stun walk away.
Wow. He's got 6 stacks on him, and he's 324 movement speed. Bat's at 335. That's pretty absurd how much movement speed Night Stalker has. He's back up to 431.
Well, despite how bad it was looking early on, it does feel like Luccini have kind of pulled themselves a little bit together now. And Invoker is now just slightly behind the Sven, with CK still doing a really good job farming in the top lane.
Yeah, Night Stalker, he prioritized getting a lot more kills onto the Bat Rider this game, which is probably better because then Sven, he's going to have an early Mask of Madness going into this early mid game here, where he's going to be able to go and flash farm all these camps. And I do agree with the situation where Night Stalker should help kill the Bat Rider.
Yeah.
And, well, let's see what they're going to do now with the first nighttime. It's been a minute in. Night Stalker just kind of hovering around mid, not doing too much yet.
Jamari has decided to head off towards the jungle. He doesn't want to stick around in lane, knowing that Night Stalker could be there to try and mess with him. And in the meantime, it's again Jericho just going to hold on to make sure the Bat Rider doesn't get roamed on. Jericho just wants to make sure his buddies get their farm on and Well, the ship has been righted, at least for the moment.
Yep. Night Stalker went top. I'm gonna find a lowly AA. My friend, you are... Well, he can use the void now. This gear is here.
And that will be enough for the kill. Picks that one up on a killing spree. Night Stalker making it happen. They get a 1 second stun, but that's not really going to amount to much. And in fact, Chaos Knight might be the one that's in trouble instead. If he ends up going down here, this would be disastrous. The skewer connects, right click's coming, and they have another void as well. They find the kill. Man, Midas Club Elite just not letting up on Luccini at all.
And that's what they have to do. Their early game is just superior right now, just because the enemy has a Clockwork and an AA who needs levels as well as the Invoker. So now in the situation, Puck was level 7, Invoker was barely 5, then he got a huge wave, but still, tower is going to go down.
Oh, damn. Down here in the bottom lane. Almost going to be able to find this kill. The Sven in some trouble, minus armor. They turn to fight. He's getting the regen from it. He takes him down as well, pops the mango to throw it out for the stun. And can they finish it off? The Rubik's so freaking low. But it is going to be CK getting out of that one. And now, Night Stalker just going to punch Jericho once in the face and back off.
So that's not what you wanted to have. Chaos Knight rotated bottom lane for that kill. Just one more click, one more anything. He's gonna die here. Oh, Jericho gonna be dead here in the mid lane, trying to take on a Puck. You are 5 levels behind, my friend.
Get up if you
Yeah,
can.
and Puck ended up taking that tower also. So first nighttime, just incredibly efficient, and they're going to be able to go all together, hold hands for the shrine. Puck has treads, a smoke up, and maybe a quick kill on that Invoker. Everything that Midas Club Elite could want. Or going top. Why not? They have RP also.
Well, they don't need... There's no need for them to go mid or anything.
Yeah.
They need to get some more map control. Baiting, but...
Oh, God, it's going to be an RP in just a second. He connects it onto 3. Can he get out of there, walk away? It looks like maybe the Puck here. He needs to hit a really big Dream Coil. It's already been used, though, and doesn't quite have it. They still take down that Bat Rider. Can they find any more? The RP was a second later, or possibly the rest of Midas Club Elite was a second earlier. That could have looked a lot better.
Yeah, that would have been dire, losing everyone for nothing. So they kind of lucked out. They sent their heroes. They needed pretty much everyone there for Luccini just to get the kill on the Magnus. He's just so tanky. And then now this is going to be more space. Magnus TP's bottom lane. Bat is TPing down here too. Let's see if anything happens here.
Yeah.
Magnus without RP isn't too scary. So he's only going to be buffing up his allies, but having only 1 in Empower, he's not going to be doing all that much. So now it's going to be daytime finally for Midas Club, and let's see where they want to do now. Are they going to just farm? They need to get their levels up on Rubik. He's going to be level 6 here in a minute or so. No. And let's see what spells does he have to steal the Lyrical.
We got ourselves, you know, the chilly touch thing coming out from the AA. I guess Cold Feet's pretty good with Rubik also.
Yeah, that does sound good.
Level 3 on that spell.
Good synergy.
I guess the other question or the problem that I'm seeing is that like this Invoker, he still doesn't have Midas. Not that it's like too far behind, but when you're having a good game, isn't it like sub 10 minutes that you usually get it?
Right. I'd say like 8 minutes is or a good game, and then a bad game is probably 12 to 13.
Okay.
So it's just because of the Midas nerf gold timing. It hurts, and then you also have to get all these little items on Invoker normally, like infused raindrops against the Puck and Night Stalker, and then also the magic wand because there's so many spells. So
yeah. Well, it looks like this is going to be the smoke play from the Bat Rider. This would be a nice pickup, and actually, Sven is taking some damage from this. If they're able to find him,
they got Mag.
Oh, it's a nice catch. Oh, and they push him back away. No skewer coming out there. They find that kill. No chance of a Sunstrike. But meanwhile, in the top lane, Tala able to take down that Ancient Apparition. So Midas Club Elite keeping that pressure on.
This is what Puck should be doing. He's almost unkillable in this top lane by himself. They don't really have the best ways to lock him down unless they like hook him into a reality or like having a blink, but he's not even close to a blink. He went for the casual bracer. And then did he go back for a wand? Yeah, he went back for a wand. So now he has all these stat heavy items. They really need for him to have a blink dagger and for him to start the team fights. Else it's all going to be on clockwork. And you need to have double initiation in this situation.
All right. And looking for it now. We'll see if it can work. Maybe if they can find that it's just so tough though. With darkness going and now nobody found. We'll have to wait and see. Granted, there's still a lot of potential for damage here. Invoker is actually going to TP over to the side. And the Sunstrike, they actually pull him away from it. They still will find that kill. And now Rubik has Stone Cold Feet as well. Okay, things looking okay there for him for the moment. They take down that Magnus as well. And now Night Stalker in a little bit of a pickle as well. They have the Reality Rift pull him back in. And suddenly, Luccini looking absolutely wonderful.
That's really nice for them. Nice setup there. They kind of waited until daytime. They made sure Sven was by himself. And then, oh, nice hook shot. Gonna get it, and the sun finish.
Yeah, 4 dead by Midas Club Elite. And Luccini coming back strong here.
That's kind of what happens when you don't have the Magnus with a Blink Dagger. Normally, in those situations, you're going to be behind them, behind your Sven most of the time, baiting him to where you're going to Blink RP or Blink Coil or something, but Puck doesn't have his yet, or Magnus, so they can't have these turned around plays, and that reality was basically their only setup kind of for that lasso. It was pretty funny to watch.
I know, it's nuts. And now with the Invoker being up there and having Sunstrikes available, they can go in for another round. The other thing that I noticed in that, Sven only has 2 points up right now in Warcry, so the Reality Rift almost fully negates it with the minus armor that you get.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Could be something to be a little bit concerned about for the Radiant team, is not being able to take fights until a little bit later. But Bat Rider, he is gone. No way around that one. He's just going to drop.
It's really hard for Dire to hold positioning or hold the enemy back here if they don't have the blinks or they don't have their ultis. Bet didn't have his lasso ready, and because everybody's already in position for Midas Club here, they just can't take these fights. Now though,
oh, there it is. Big ult comes through. Sunstrike doesn't even need it at the end there, but they have been able to find themselves another one as the CK goes down by virtue of that Puck and Night Stalker combo. So carries traded off. I gotta say that the longer that this game goes on, it feels like Luccini will have a better chance to fight later, right? Like as Invoker comes online a little bit more.
Yeah, it's something interesting because Sven was up like 1k, 2k net worth on a lot of the enemy heroes, but now Invoker, he's climbed his way up, same net worth as him, and he's going to be in that late stage situations we talked about earlier in the draft where he can just completely shut down everything that Sven wants to do. But at the other side, Invoker, he really doesn't like playing against silences, and they have 2 silences from the Night Stalker as well as the Puck, so it's still a very difficult Invoker game. And as long as Sven, he just got his Blink Dagger too, so he's gonna have his initiation now, and well, they're gonna be fine in here. Jericho,
yeah, he got a battery assault off at the very least, but as you mentioned earlier, they just fly away for the moment. Actually, Rubik stealing cogs, and now Jericho almost gonna end up going down. He is going to fall as now the earn charge not gonna be enough to tick down the Rubik, I don't believe, left on 37 HP. And the double blinks that we have now with both the Sven as well as the Puck, this could be a scary series of moments for Luccini.
Yep, Mag's closing in on his too. Just 1 or 2 more camps here.
Radiant's middle tower,
so it'll be interesting how they deal with that. CK's almost got his first item in the armlet, but that's not going to help you too much if you're going to get RP'd. But they have this global pressure. Are they going to get a blast is on cooldown for 8 seconds? So, oh, nice.
Good hit.
Ward vision.
Able to catch there, and, well, they actually pull him back away. A-Blast goes out, finds the kill. And again, Sven is going to fall, and that's going to give the armlet to the CK. becoming a more and more precarious point for Midas Club Elite.
Yeah, Sven's putting a lot more pressure on this game on towers and taking map control rather than farming ancients and doing stacks and whatnot. Midas Club, they didn't have any stacks prepared for them, and he hasn't spent that much time in the jungle, and so you can kind of tell like the difference in play styles, right? Normally, you really want to have this empower on the Sven. You want to be constantly farming on Sven this game. You don't necessarily want to be taking all these towers. You're just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna build up my blink. All right, I got my blink. We're gonna smoke as 5. Bam, go get an objective. All right, next we're gonna go farm I'm gonna farm my BKB or something, and then bam, we're gonna smoke again or something.
Right.
Like, they're not necessarily doing timings. They're just running at towers behind their Sven. So he's just not farming efficiently in this game.
And it definitely is, again, like you said, just sitting right behind him. I want to see if Luccini can punish this any further. Like, they're kind of splitting up the map a little bit, but they don't have anybody back here to defend the tier 2 at this point, and they're not really getting a whole lot outside of that. We are going to have a short little pause as Midas Club Elite figure out what they want to do next. But yeah, it's sort of odd, because now this would normally be a point where you could, like, either pressure for one of the other tier 1s, since both of them are still up in the mid and top lane, or Luccini would come back to fight. But it's hard to fight without Midas on Invoker, but they're just like farming jungle and kind of running around together.
Yeah. He'll have his ag soon though on Invoker, and that'll be go time for them. I think then they'll start maybe moving as 5 for the Luccini side.
I like what I'm seeing here also by the Rubik. He's scouting out to make sure nobody TPs to the shrine for a wraparound.
Also dewarding. Yeah. Pause the game to stream. I mean,
I'm sure none of that's going on. They've got a 2-minute delay.
That ward had was 2-3 minutes placed. I'm not. I was just joking, but now you're gonna be. I'm just gonna be advocating it now.
That's fair. I like it. You got to commit fully. Well, all right. Here we go. Chaos Knight has himself the armlet done, almost at level 12.
Top tower is under attack.
And still, all of the tier 1 towers remain up for Midas, even though they have been able to get into that next set of item objective-wise. They're still very much behind.
Yeah. They feel scared since he popped nighttime, and rightfully so. You just kind of have to get back. You just don't have the superior vision. You don't know where they're at. Also, I'd just like to see this, instead of Sven being in the front lines, as we've seen like his last 3 deaths. Obviously, he's the only one that can really hit towers on his team, but I really like to see Night Stalker starting a team fight or Puck, just so that you have Sven coming in or Magnus coming in afterwards. And yeah, I want to just see them kind of do that style instead of Sven starting the fight.
Yeah. Wait for things to get a little bit chaotic and then jump in with a big old storm hammer to the butt.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get pounded. I mean,
all right, let's see. It's gonna be a empowered up Puck, keeping on the towers, pressured out. Look at this. It's just like sort of 5 heroes running together, expecting somebody to come and contest this, but I really feel like Midas Club will realize what's happening, and they're just farming up more efficiently around the map. Like, nobody's coming to defend this tower. They're just instead going to pressure the other ones.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Question is, are they going to defend this tier 2? Pings. In this situation, Midas, they took so long to push out lanes that it looks like it's just going to be a free tier 2 now for Luccini.
Okay.
But they will get the tier 2 on top, but see how this tier 2 is already going to fall no matter what? It's just kind of like a bad trade now. Whereas this tier 2 on bottom was full HP.
Right. And, they will hit an A blast onto the Sven. With Batrider TPing back, the tower is about to go down. Nobody else is really here to come and contest, and towers are all told gone, and now Clockwork's going to get caught. His silence for the moment. They can jump in on this if they want to, and they've been able to catch the Magnus. is going to skewer away, but will eventually be brought down.
Under attack.
Well, the final tally ends up being 2 towers gone in the bottom lane for the tier 2s top and mid, and a Magnus death.
I guess that goes to Midas Club a bit there, just because they got the mid tier 2.
Dire are scanning.
And they still have all the kind of map control that they want. This Arms guy, he's just walking around now, 700 HP, no mana. I'm just gonna go farm. Not even gonna use a casual shrine in the base. I was gonna use his upper shrine. Wow, that's so mean. Taking away your team's shrine, how dare you?
Which one now? The hell are you talking about? I didn't see this.
He was in this bottom lane. He was right here, near his tier 3, down here. Yeah. And then he just walked all the ways up there, and now he's gonna use the shrine.
Got it.
So, just mean. Could he use that for the team fight at Roche? That's gonna happen in 2 minutes?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably not. But maybe they could force it if they really wanted to with the BKB complete on Sven here.
Well, in the meantime, it is going to be the Batrider finishing a Blink Dagger and a Force Staff. So they have items to take the fight. It's just about when and where that actually ends up happening. And we still haven't seen the full power of this Invoker yet, who's gotten up to level 16 and now has Ags as well as bots and a Midas. But a smoke movement now. They will get some vision. It's broken out there. Not going to get cogs or anything off. That is a dead clockwork. A big old pull back in. He doesn't catch everybody quite in time, but the BKB is already out. So no extra damage is going to be coming from that Invoker. Now they found themselves the CK. He does have the Halberd, but not going to be able to live through it. And oh, now they caught the Batrider. From bad to worse to terrible. Midas Club Elite take the victory handedly. And now everybody is dead. No buybacks.
Nah, not everybody's dead.
That's true.
Invoker's still alive. Midas Club Elite's still alive. Come on, man. You're not doing justice. No, I'm just kidding. But that was an amazing RP. Nice initiation coming in. And that's kind of like what they wanted. They went on the puck. You saw how most of the team fights have been starting off with the Magnus being caught or something. Which then, this time they went on the puck and they paid the price. Because then they all got grouped up trying to kill the puck.
They don't feel comfortable. You almost wonder, had they gone for Roche right when they made that kill happen, if they would have been able to have it, but...
Yep. They took way too long to decide that. It took 20, 30 seconds, and without having Sven ultimate up, that also is another deterrent.
Yeah.
So.
Well, one thing we haven't talked about a ton is the farm that CK is getting. He does have Armlet and a Halberd now, and I always feel like this is around the time when CK becomes really difficult to deal with. Do you feel like that's the case in this game, or do you think that Midas Club Elite have what they need to keep him in check?
I think it's just going to come down to the initiations of the bat, maybe on a better target, and then Invoker, what can he do? Like, can he, when the RP is going down, can he Tornado and Deafening Blast maybe to counter, or how that's going to go? Because a lot of these initiations are, well, that's a dead man.
They caught him. Well done. Now a Veil out as well. Silence onto the CK. They get the disarm out. Sven not doing anything. They tried to pull him out of there as well with the Rubik, but didn't end up working. And now the catch with the Tornado. Meatball down and the Definite Blast. Triple kill for Jamar. Now they've found more. Kiting away from Arms. But, well, he's not really able to do all that much damage. They've got the lasso onto him now. Sven pulled up onto the high ground. A little bit upset about his current situation. All he wants to do is hit people in the face, but it is not happening. Pushed around, killed around, bullied and killed. Sven is down.
They got wrecked. Well, it kind of started off how I liked a team fight start, where you have Night Stalker going in, right? Giving vision. He's going to be the one to die first. They used a lot of spells, but they weren't really clumped for Magnus, and they weren't all really there, ready to help the Night Stalker too. If they were all in position, they could have helped them out, but the clock just got a cogs off onto 2, and then Tornado, EMP, and all this. I mean, Well, Jazz coming in. Chaos Knight gonna go down. Yules? Oh, it's on cooldown.
Yeah, they used it to start the fight. That was close. Well played by Jericho to keep his buddy alive. Doesn't have mana right now for a hook shot, unfortunately, so he will be killed off. Rubik getting himself some cogs there as well. And now maybe they can come in and see if they can secure Roshan. As Clockwork is dead, and not seeing any Sunstrikes yet from Invoker to check out the pit. There it is. And now he sees it, and they realize...
Thanks for help doing Roche.
Maybe
she get assist gold for. She get assist gold.
Could be okay. No way to stop that one. So, Midas Club Elite will secure themselves the first Roche of the game.
Nice of them. Understanding Clock's dead. A lot of the ultimates are on cooldown, like Bat's Lasso and stuff. So Invoker here, I'm looking at his items, or hoping to see what his items are. He should be going Lincolns, in my opinion. They need for him to not get bursted when if like Sven just jumps him immediately out of nowhere. He has to make sure he doesn't get that instant stun on him. So I think the best thing is for that, and then also Shiva's afterward is really good for him. Oh, he's gonna go. I mean, it's also a really good BKB game. Yeah. Just because you have all these stuns and whatnot, but I'm not necessarily a big fan of it if you don't click it in time, right? You have to make sure you're clicking in time. You have to make sure you're coming in the team fights always last, and that's not always the case when the enemy have superior vision, as we've been talking about with the Night Stalker. So.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's the big thing to me is this. It tells me that the. Oh. Ooh. All right, able to get away from there. The Bat Rider playing it well. Yeah, I guess what the BKB kind of tells me about the Invoker is that he's believing in himself more. That because like if I guess that the worry is that if like the stun comes out from Sven and it's onto one of his allies that's right next to him, he's still going to get stunned, obviously.
Yeah, it's also just good for a lift too or something.
Yeah,
I mean, lift starting off, but he's going back for it now. It's just. I would like to see him have that instead because it helps you split push a little bit more effectively too.
Okay.
Whereas BKB, you can get RP'd still, and you can. I mean, theoretically, you could have Rubik stealing Clock Hook, you know, all that. Yeah. But I'm just messing around there. Still haven't seen Rubik do too much this game. He hasn't stolen anything really good. There's not too much besides Lasso. Maybe one of Invoker spells like Tornado can be really good too to reposition. And the CK Bolt he hasn't stolen. That could be a 4-second stun. So.
Thinking about it, I guess Flare is really good this game too if he can manage to get it. To like keep the creep waves pushed counter to what Clockwork's doing.
Yeah, they have Clock and the Invoker constantly pushing out waves across the map with Forge Spirit as well as the rocket spam. So having their own rocket spam for all this split push is going to be needed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, Puck is just going to get punched in the face again by that Ancient Apparition Blast. He gets himself a bit more farm. And actually,
they ping. They realize that they use CK illusions here, so they might want to go high ground, but they push extremely fast with Invoker.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe even CK could try and like go for a rat play here. It seems like that's their plan. And in the meantime, Ancient Apparition, the one that's holding high ground here, he's going to have an Ice Blast again in a second. Maybe a little bit of a change here. Is they're going to be able to jump forward? They find one. Pulling into CK. Hook comes out. Invoker's not going to be here for this fight, and they also have Cogs. So Invoker almost dead, not quite going to go down though, and now they pull him back in. A good combination is going to come out here though, as they've been able to take down this Sven almost. He ended up using his stun, and it looks like they are going to end up losing that Bat Rider most likely. In the meantime, everybody else got out from the Radiant team. So nice win there, I would say, for the Radiant as they take down the Bat. They didn't get much damage onto the tier 3 tower bottom though.
Man, if Sven had Echo Saber or even, what is the other item that they go? I think it's just Echo Saber. That Invoker would have died. He needed one more click. just one more right click. And that's the situation that happens sometimes, right? Invoker, you're split pushing, you want to go high ground, and then Sven comes out of nowhere, and then you probably should have died. They should have teleported one more hero back for the Radiant, and then with Invoker dead, because he's already level 20, he's going to be dead for about 80 seconds or so, or 70 or something. And that's just another chance for them to either waste the buyback or in this situation, get a lane of racks.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, it is Luccini getting away with one for free there. And they've been able to weather the storm of all the aggression that came out early from Midas Club Elite. We'll have to see how these next couple of minutes play out, but it's starting to feel like with BKBs wearing a little bit on the lower side, down to 7 seconds for Sven, might get kited all around this map.
Yeah, it's... I don't know if you've ever played Sven.
Lyrical? I have, actually.
You have?
Not very well.
Well, have you ever sold your treads for boots of travel?
Yeah.
You don't like that feeling, do you?
No, you hit very slow.
You're like, what the hell happened to my attack speed? You just like don't even understand.
Oh.
That's the situation that could happen in this game where he's like, well, I have to get boots of travel because of all the split push, but if I do, I'm not going to be attacking at crap speed. I mean, even with your Mask of Madness on, sometimes it feels like you're just attacking so slow because you're losing the treads attack speed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crappy feeling for sure. And something that Sven might be feeling shortly. He is going to be going back for the AC first. I was wondering if they were looking to try and pick off that Sven here with like a Lasso, A Blast, and Sunstrike, but didn't end up happening. But yeah, this is feeling a little bit rough, and CK almost has a heart. Oh, there's the jump in. They got him.
They knew somebody was hanging out in the trees over here. They were pinging.
Yeah. And Batrider is just going to end up TPing away to the shrine. So, top lane being pushed in by Midas Club Elite. Rocket spam and AA Ice Blast continues to hit and wear down these creeps. And Invoker split pushes towards his Lincoln Sphere, which is now completed.
Nice. That's a lot of... There was a lot of time given to Invoker since he wasn't caught out there. And this, he's almost got buyback in 500 gold. Extremely fast farming. And that's what they need. Invoker has to carry this game for Dire side.
Alright, a big smoke by Midas Club Elite as they attempt to open up this game, but everybody heads out of there. Luccini know what can happen in an instant if they're not careful, and Invoker is even ghost walked running around here. Do they have dust or any type of detection?
Should be on Sven, right?
They have a gem. They have a gem on Night Stalker. But it doesn't look like they're going to run into him. They're playing this so safe. Jamari thinking about it. He will find that Rubik here, and with nighttime actually wearing off, he's going to go for the kill here. Cold Snap, right clicks, it's in there. Lincoln Sphere means that nothing happens. And now they get out. Looking for an RP, maybe, possibly. Blink, RP, ends up interrupting it. Oh, the tornado lifts up. He RPs the Batrider, and that's all. Pulls back in one, but there's going to be the puck. BKB down. Now trying to turn, seeing if they can make this fight happen. But he might have overstayed his welcome a little bit. I don't know if they're going to be able to find anything else. He drops down the Meteor. Is he going to get out of here? That was mighty close.
Oh, they had one chance to actually do that. Oh, Sunstrike.
Oh, that's death.
He did. He did.
Well done.
Booby did. The one play that they could have done, which would have been sick, is force Def on Magnus to cancel the Yules.
Yeah.
And using the Yules. Because he used the Yules to cancel, it's just they didn't have any other thing to cancel. Or if his Dagon was back up again.
Yeah.
That would have been sick. They could have killed the Invoker. But, that's just ifs, ands, and buts. We don't play that around here. Sven did get a solo kill on the Clockwork in the meantime, while we were all gazing upon this 2v3 fight in the bottom lane.
Yep.
So, with that, he's going to be working towards his MKB, and he's going to have it, I guess you could say shortly, considering how fast Sven farms.
Especially with Empower on him, he hits quite hard, especially against creeps. But the other thing to keep in mind is that your CK has farmed up a Storm and has had Blink Dagger queued up a little while. I don't know if that's actually the build on CK or not, but he is going to be able to get into that 120 GPM talent if he wants to get it later. Which is almost there.
I think he needs armor, and Blink is really, really good on CK. It's just because you summon your ulti, you blink in, and then you could just reality and all your, well, you can also just blink in, stun, and then reality, and then just all of a sudden, what the hell, I just got gangbanged, and it's just like, I don't know what just happened.
That ain't a good feeling.
No.
Whoa!
No.
Mid lane, double force. Batrider backing out. Are they gonna fight this? What the hell is happening? They jump forward.
BKB? No BKB. That should be a dead bet.
Alright, well, maybe they can find something else here as they have been able to take down Jericho. Down bottom, though, it is Jamari pushing out the lane and ready to summon some Forge Spirits and start pressuring the tower. Runs away, deals the damage, and backs out. No luck with the pick off. Although he might spot him with the gem. Nah, not gonna get him.
Regeneration.
I hope this bat doesn't go well, probably dead here. Well, force staffing yourself kind of stunned you there. That's unfortunate. And then with that, he was trying to split push, get some more time, but stayed a little bit too long, and that's going to be Roche because of that. Unless they want to buy back. He does have buyback. This could be a really good opportunity for them to fight.
I think that Invoker wants to pick off... Oh, he's not going to. He's not going to pick off the Rubik. Instead, they're going to fight here. Like you're saying. Tornado goes out. A little bit off the mark.
Even though Bat's dead, they still have Invoker, who has his BKB. CK is extremely strong. He still has his Phantasm, so they can easily contest Roche.
Still scary stuff there. The blink is available. Ooh.
Ping? Maybe?
Definite blast gone. Stun onto nothing. What is happening? Ryu, Dota 2 is not even occurring, but they finally managed to find the cogs out and then to skewer away the dead clockwork. This has been
Magnus
a comedy of errors. And
here it goes. There it is, 3! There's 3! Look!
Oh, no.
He didn't have it.
They didn't go for it.
I guess they have. Oh, that would have been sick. I guess they have no man on Sven.
Yes, please pause. Reflect on your life choices.
Alright, so that was actually almost a sick play by Sven. Alright, so this is what everybody else is like thinking like you, where it looked like a really bad stun from Sven, but I thought it was actually a really good stun. So if you stun on top of the Invoker, you're going to get Lincoln's canceled. But if you stun right near where the Invoker is, even if it's a creep or an ally, then he's going to get that stun. So because the Invoker was really close, but he moved his Forge Spirits in time, he didn't get hit by the stun. If he had gotten hit by the stun, I think the Invoker dies there. Just because there'd be a follow-up RP.
For sure. Yeah, I think I agree. It looked a lot worse than it actually was.
Yeah, it did. Everything else looked clowny as hell, though. I agree with you. I was laughing my ass off, too. I like, what the hell are people doing? The Magnus definitely need to pause and reflect on his life decisions.
Well, and he also TP'd away, so now they can't get here in time for the RP, and now they pull back in the puck. He's in trouble. Sunstrike goes out. A blast is not quite going to connect. They do a Firefly, so Rubik's going to start doing the Cowboy in a second here. They get into range. Blink Dagger ends up getting taken away, and now he's going to get Cold Feet procced as well. No RP there. They end up stealing the Aegis, though. All right, Night Stalker making it happen. Cold Snap is out there as well. He's going to start to fall and is going to eventually get out. All right, he escapes, and now the Batrider is down as well. Night Stalker, Crippling Fear, kept him alive by virtue of that mischance. Now the lift up keeps away that clockwork. Night Stalker still living with the Aegis and the gem. Somehow, Luccini lose that fight.
I think CK picked up cheese first because of the changes, and no.
Shadowblade CK is the route that he decides to take.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
It gives you any form of initiation is going to be nice. The problem is they do have a gem, but the Night Stalker has to be kind of like the only one around, right? If anybody's split pushing and he sees that, CK can easily just go over, and blow them up. The thing that's really good about Shadow Blade, or in most cases, why it's better than Blink, is because one, it's an item that gives you stats, and it'll scale better into the late game because you can go Silver Edge. Whereas the Blink is just, you know, kind of like 2K. It's like a dead item, but it's a very good item. So,
yeah. No, I'm with you.
Wise.
Yeah, it's great, and I think that it's also, like, you know, attack speed given to illusions. It's fairly decent nowadays.
And it's off.
Can't really Silver Edge anything besides like the.
You can Silver Edge cleave.
The cleave,
yeah.
But then you have the empowered Magnus still, so.
They see this Invoker.
Night silence.
But can't do anything about it.
He's also got a sheep.
Yeah. But that does signal to Luccini that they might be in the area over here. So we'll see if this smoke gank coming from them ends up bearing any fruit. It looks like it probably won't. Instead, they're just going to have to fight around the tier 2.
Dire are scanning.
Are they going to fight? Cheese on KS9 is still very scary.
Yeah.
He's got almost 5k HP.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
All right. Might be time just to pop ulti for CK and push high ground. I don't know if they can actually stop that.
Yeah, they got some CK invoker
problems. RP maybe gonna start coming out here. Oh, they got him. They
Lotus,
pull back in the Magnus. They've been able to get him. 4-second stun and the sheep stick all piled together, but it doesn't matter. They find that kill. No buyback on the Magnus either. They don't have enough damage as of yet. He pops the cheese, able to back out away from there. Still that CK taking a ton of damage. Can pop ulti if he wants to, but he's already such low HP. I don't know if it's going to end up working. He pops the ulti, immediately gets eviscerated, gets that actual armor toggled off. He's going to live through it. He lives through it all and turns it back around. Tela trying to find that kill now. They have been able to take down one. Meanwhile, the Sunstrike follow-up. They get the sheep stick off onto that Night Stalker. He is going to die, I believe. Great Cogs pushback there by the Rubik that stole it. And meanwhile, the Pug is just playing circles around them. Alive on 22 HP. He's out of there. They have been able to finally bring down both that Rubik and the Night Stalker. That's Gem on the ground. Last one left alive is the Pug. He's stuck here in the middle of everybody, and he is going to be able to find the kill on the clock, but just off the mark with that Sunstrike. Almost getting him. They have no more earn charges. Phase shift away from the right.
He's about to get dagged in the face. Bat needs to be careful.
There it is. And that should be the death of him now.
No, he's fine.
There.
Nah, he's fine. Oh, he was. Wait, what? He was fine. Maybe not. I was thinking if he could permanently phase shift and use.
It would have been good, but it didn't end up working out. And
he also bought everything on Puck. Now he doesn't have buyback. Or did he not have? Yeah, he didn't have buyback. He bought that.
Game is hard, and I'm gonna feel it a little bit harder now.
That's what you get.
As the whole team is dead, the tier 3 tower is gone, and maybe going to get a second lane of racks here as well.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
I think Dire's side, or Luccini, got completely outdrafted, and Midas Club, they just gave them a free win.
I mean, at this point, like, you look at this, it's really hard to do anything. It's 4,700 HP on the CK, and they just really don't have an answer to him. Not to mention the Gem is now not on any of the Radiant heroes anymore, I don't think. But Sheep Stick, they turn it back around, and CK is just going to beat him right in the face. That's a good stun. They end up taking down the Invoker. 1,100 gold going the way of that CK, but now the lasso catches, and it looks like the CK should live here. Maybe not. He has heart regen if he's able to get out of there for too much longer. The stun comes out, but there's the Tornado lift up. Meteor drops down, and the right clicks to follow. Maybe a lift up, maybe a stun, maybe the damage dealt. RP down as well, but the disarm comes out in time, and that's going to keep Invoker alive. Follow-up stun comes through as well. Invoker somehow alive on just a sliver of HP. And that one is going to break the hearts and souls of Midas Club Elite fans the world over. Never give up, never surrender. But it might all be for naught. As Megas come out, and we're just waiting for GG to be called.
Fight forever. Fight forever. That's right.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, this game is very over. I can't think of anything they can really do to hold back and try and not end up losing. Rubik has Meteor, which is great, but it doesn't feel like there's much to do.
Middle tower is under attack.
If only Meteor was like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
He'd be... They could farm for
Radiant's top
days
shrine is under attack.
against Megas.
For literally days. I guess they do still have like Sven and then empowered heroes,
Radiant's bottom shrine
makes it
is under attack.
pretty good
Sven dead.
defense.
Sven dead in BKB.
Sven's getting out of there. Tornado, run away! Oh, they got him. Hurricane Irma's coming through.
Spawning all of her dirty tornadoes all over the ground.
And there's going to be the Hex out, and the hook shot in, and everything thrown at him. Rubik seals lasso. There is going to be a jump forward, but not enough. Maybe a skewer back into the base. Possibly. They're trying to pull him in, but DX. No skewer. No life, no hope.
Radiant's ancient
Midas Club Elite is going to lose.
Dun, dun, dun.
has been killed.
The turning point there for me, though, in seriousness, was pretty much Magnus not having Shadow Blade for initiations and the Bat Rider having a haste. So they had a haste rune on Bat where they got the pick on the Magnus right as his Lotus was coming off. So that was an amazing play coming in from our Bat player. So that kind of like sealed the deal because Mag didn't have buyback there, and then they didn't have RP, didn't have Empower to work with anymore. So definitely maybe play a little bit better on Magnus, because honestly I do think that Midas Club Elite had the better draft here.
Yeah, they had a very clear way to make it work, but well, we're going to have to see what happens in game number 2. It's right around the corner, everybody. Midas Club Elite facing off against Luccini Gaming. This is just the first round of the Star Ladder I-League Invitational South American qualifiers. After this series, we're going to have Infamous Young facing off against SG Esports, and then tomorrow we continue the action with Infamous versus Mad Kings, and then Fuera Joven versus Digital Chaos South America. Stay tuned, everybody. Myself, Lyrical, and Ryu will be bringing you the action just around the corner.